Yes, folks, we are here and now living in times that are very, very silly, and I guess ridiculous times. And I guess that is nothing new for our society. At least it feels that way to me. Others may have a different opinion on this. But I'm looking at Yahoo News, and Megan Rapone at the congressional hearing rips NCAA for tournament inequities absolutely unacceptable. Yes, U.S. soccer star Megan Rapone testifies before Congress committee Wednesday morning criticizing the NCAA for unacceptable inequities. Now, Megan Rapone, U.S. soccer player, she was made famous for her taking a knee during the national anthem. And yeah, of course, these people seem to be rather protected because they certainly will not go on any kind of conservative sites, of course, who are hostile to their beliefs. I'm looking right now, and I don't know why. I'm just 30 more partners of famous LGBT entertainers. We're looking here. And begin the slideshow. And of course, I already knew Anderson Cooper. He's part of the gay community. Luke Evans. I'm just going down the road here of Ricky Martin and other people. I don't know why. I'm just because I saw a picture of someone and I wanted to see if that was true. So bear with me, folks. But yeah, I wanted to kind of continue on this whole thing of the shooter, who happened to be, I guess, either a Syrian refugee or an immigrant. He certainly had mental health problems, but that didn't stop him from getting a firearm. He is someone who had been known to to law enforcement. I think they had law enforcement called on him, and he was still able to get access, even though he had a rather violent background of getting access to a firearm. Kind of sad if you think about it. And I'm still looking here at gay couples. I don't know why I'm kind of interested. I saw a picture there, and it was kind of interesting. So I'm just bear with me, folks. Those few that listen to my show. By the way, did I mention I have Howard? Howard, often after my show, loves to call me and tell me how much my show and I suck. He recommends that I commit some form of ritual that will perhaps end my life. I think that's one of Howard's. Thinking Howard, it will help me just to put me out of my misery, because my show is so pathetic. And I guess he continues to listen, but maybe it's out of a sense of masochism that he listens. Also, George Siegel, I guess, is died. I believe he died today or yesterday. I remember, the film that I remember him in is Fun with Dick and Jane, and it was, I think, one of the films that Jane Fonda had done shortly. I mean, like, I think it was the first film that she had done right after the incident when she had went to Vietnam. Film was, I think, in '77, so she had been on a hiatus, and the film was rather popular. I also remember George Siegel in the roller coaster film. I think it was called Roller Coaster. He was an entertaining guy and seemed like a rather nice person as well. He was on the Goldbergs, and a lot of these individuals, they look really good. They really look good, for their age, and when they're, if you don't see them in person, of course, it will be something different. So I just wanted to go that Project Veritas is has been removed from Twitter for showing pictures of the border. Social media suppressing speech that it doesn't like, but it will certainly promote speech that it agrees with, and they affect policy. These people are certainly hypocrites. But I'm going into the shooter right now. And Andy Ngo has the truth about mass shooters from 2019. Well, I want to thank YouTube Addiction says this show doesn't suck. I think it's your monotone voice that makes it interesting. Well, I want to thank you, YouTube Addiction. But people certainly are entitled to their opinion. If people think I suck, that is certainly their right to say that I suck. You know what? I like the views, but so Andy Ngo has put up, and there are a lot of black and brown faces in the mass shooters that Andy Ngo put out. So it's just being white, and I'm just reading some of the things here. Sebastian Gorka, okay, so Colorado has universal background checks and red flag laws, plus Boulder City has banned assault weapons. So how did Ali, I don't know how to say his name, but how did the shooter kill anyone? And just like that, the Boulder shooting has disappeared from the news cycle thanks to his name, which is, I believe it's a Muslim name. And McKaylee says, leftists are really disappointed the Boulder killer wasn't a white Trump supporter. All of a sudden, they don't care about the tragedy. These people are sick. Well, they do care about the tragedy. They care about banning firearms for law-abiding citizens. And then this is someone says, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that mass shootings from the Syrian refugee in Boulder, Colorado, could very well be retaliation from Joe Biden recently bombing Syria. That might be true. Who knows? Who knows what the motivations are for a person killing? And this is another Ryan Fournier, I believe his name is. The media will soon forget the Boulder tragedy. Why? The shooter doesn't fit their narrative. He was Muslim, hated Trump, and killed only white individuals. The media is sick. And yeah, I mean, the media plays its games. FBI searched the Syrian-born Boulder gunman's family's home. More. I'm wondering if my timer here. Okay, I got about 10 minutes left. Okay. So it's saying here, FBI searches the Syrian-born Boulder gunman's family home. More Facebook posts surface of the 21-year-old's rant about Trump, Islamophobia, and phone hacking, while police report shows he beat up a school bully who called him a terrorist. So again, certain things fit the narrative and that don't fit the narrative. So he only killed white people. He was a Muslim, a Syrian. Now, I guess Syrians, I guess, could be considered Caucasian or white. And again, Andy knows. I just want to see what the response is. Questions given the government doesn't track mass shootings. Who's the source for this? I know Mother Jones and WSJ have shown own database with different definitions of mass shootings. This is called Super Bowl champions. He's a black individual. Wikipedia lists the source is among the best as it details each incident. Thank you. What this graphic shows is that any new gun law should apply only to men. That's kind of true that every one of the mass shooters is a male, but a lot of them are black. Few of them are white, but shows here. Now take away gang and drug pictures. So he's saying that these were drug and gang related. I also wonder, what about the mental health? And what about the fact that a lot of these people are on some form of psychotropic drugs? And of course, these kinds of shootings were not as common as they were, say, 60 years ago. But I don't think, and guns were far more readily available than they were back then. But I don't think we had the list of the kinds of drugs that people are on, and perhaps the kind of anger. Who knows if this person was on any kind of psycho drugs? And were we better at spotting people who were mentally ill, who were not really able to have a gun? It seems that is something that we're not necessarily looking at today. Let's go back to Yahoo News. Just going in the days. Again, Rapone, the person, she's, yeah. And then Brooke Shields fights to walk again after a freak accident. Nick Fan kicked out of game for offensive t-shirts. Women left horrified after noticing a racy reflection in her wine glass. My worst fear. Sidney Powell says no reasonable person would believe her election fraud lies. Is she admitting to lying? I guess. Former Disney star announces engagement after whirlwind romance asked me to be his forever love. Mitch McConnell gets instant fact-checked over brazenly false filibuster defense. And weight loss after 40 comes down to this. It's interesting because I am trying to lose weight. And I don't want to listen to a commercial right now. So Selma Hayek, 54, just dropped a stunning swimsuit pic off showing her toned legs. Okay. Our kids remote learning, they could be targeting identity theft. Okay. Hallie and Justin Bieber's very affectionate trip to Turks and I can't say that name. Will give anyone vacation envy. Okay. Expandable privacy fence. Anti-mask bakery Karen spews racist hate at black employees. Who knows what exactly she said? Let's take a look at that racist hate. A white woman who was refused service by black New York bakery worker for not wearing a face mask was caught on video calling employee a racial slur. The woman dubbed Karen an insult for entitled white women. Yes, we do have a name for entitled white women. They call them Karens. I think it's the one group that it's okay to say a name to is, I guess, white people, and particularly white women. They call them Karens. And they've used that term to list anyone that complains a lot of times, but they call them a Karen, an entitled white woman. Oh, yes, isn't that wonderful? They like to stigmatize, but all other groups cannot be, any other group cannot be stigmatized in their behavior. Their behavior cannot be shown in any negative sense. And the Georgia GOP is begging Biden to act on battery plant while Dems stay silent. Fist fight breaks out on American Airlines as passengers get off plane in Phoenix. Okay, we have another person showing off their wonderful body, and Republican senator call for idiot control instead of gun control backfires. Yeah, this is Yahoo News. This is a very biased, by the way. This is a very biased news program that's been given a lot of play. Rosie O'Donnell recalls Whitney Houston's conflict with her sexuality. That's so stupid. Why even bring that up? I'm a 24-year-old and just bought an RV. Clean Your Ride, Amazon's best car vac. Women take back aback by sister's law's insane financial request. That's stupid. Saudi Arabia's $500 million mega city. Okay. Democrats end threat to block Biden's nominees, White House. Okay. Seth Meyers mocks Trump's descent into financial broken ghost criminal. Stupid. Jennifer Garner talks about getting married again, says she won't be single forever. Well, who cares? And of course, Megan Rapone again. So let's go back to Twitter. You know, Twitter is a little bit, and I got a message. Let's go back to the Boulder, Colorado shooter, because that's major in news. Actually, I got a notification on my Twitter. Yeah, well, they just liked my post. So let's go back. Boulder had a ban on assault weapons. And again, Stephen Colbert rages over gun control. Yeah, that's a Hollywood Reporter. Let's see what the Hollywood Reporter has to say. Show replies here. And thankfully, due to all those laws, people will never drive drunk or with a suspended license. I don't even know what that even means. Okay, let's. Okay, Boulder Jihad was known to the FBI, linked to another individual under investigation. So this guy was known to the FBI, and again, the media will probably not say anything. And again, this guy should never have had access to the firearms that he had. So I'm going to kind of wind this whole thing down. Someone says Boulder, Aurora, Columbine, Bay Area, LA School District, Pittsburgh, Stockton. And he's pointing out, and he's called the Great Houdini, points out all of the firearms. Again, we had higher access to firearms back in the day, 60 years ago, but we had less of these kinds of shooters. I wonder why. Why, when we had more access to firearms, did we have less of these kinds of mass shootings? It's kind of interesting. Something we can't necessarily talk about today, but this will kind of wind down the news of the week. I just wanted to kind of touch base with everyone. Hopefully, people will like and subscribe, and even leave a comment down below, particularly like if you put a thumbs down, which I get a lot of thumbs down. I would prefer that people tell me why they don't like my show, because I would prefer to hear the reason why people don't like. So in the end, I say like and subscribe and share this video, because of course the YouTube algorithm doesn't like that. That's another thing I'll go into, how the internet is changing people's perceptions. The news media does it, and now the internet, which was supposed to be about information, is the age of censorship and gaslighting seems to be the age of information. So thank you for listening, and again, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thank you.